Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well and doing great. My name is Deepak. I have 15 plus years of experience in this field. This is the agenda that we have for today. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about what is a project, what is project management, what is PMP, who exactly is a project manager, which is like, one of the biggest myth, what that is. We are going to talk about that thing as well. The R&R, roles and responsibilities, the eligibility, the cost, and how exactly PMP can help you in upgrading your career, and why organization basically prefer PMP certified people, not the others. So you're going to get the thorough clarity on it. Now let's talk about what exactly is a project. So you must have heard that project is required. People are working on a project. What exactly it is? So we can say that project is basically a use case for a specific problem statement. So for example, I have a use case wherein I want to develop an application with the help of which people can convert their money from one form to another. For example, when I say convert, means they can convert the money based on the daily rate. So for example, I want to convert $1,000 into INR, and the rate of thousand, like let's say $1 is, let's say, 74. So it should be 74,000. Likewise, so I want to develop an application. So that's my use case. So if I had to talk about this in terms of project, so that's going to be a project wherein we have to develop or produce the solution for the specific problem statement. That is a project, like where a statement is going to be given to you, a use case is going to given to you, and you're going to build a unique product or a solution for that corresponding project or the statement. Now, coming to the other thing, what is a project management? So, and why exactly is required? So, basically, the project management is like very efficient way of handling the project. Otherwise, think about it. If you're not managing the project efficiently, let's say in my project, I have 10 different modules. Like in the first module, user can create the account, he can sign up. In the second module, we have to verify that this is the same user or not. In the third module, I have to protect the username and password. In the fourth module, maybe I have provided them the wallet facility wherein they can load the money. So I have to securely save their cards. In the fifth module, I have to check their balance. In the sixth module, let's say I have to I have to give them the feature where they can view the reports. In the, let's say, seventh module, I want to give them the opportunity wherein they can see, let's say, last 6 months of transactions, last 1 year of transactions. If they want to go beyond 1 year, they have to pay for it, just to view the old entries. Let's say the eighth module, it's going to be something wherein user can withdraw the money from any country in which they are, irrespective of their base location, but they have to pay extra charges, and that is going to be converted as per the daily rates, the conversion rates. Let's say in ninth module, in which the user can transfer the money from his bank account to any other bank account. In the 10th module, I want to verify the whether the user have enough balance for making the transaction or not. So all these modules I have, if I'm going to build all these modules independently or without proper planning, I'm going to build something. Later on, I spent 4 months and later on realized that in order to build the entire module, I will require, let's say, another database. I started, let's say, with one of the database, which was Oracle. I realized that it cannot be done with Oracle, or the license cost is very high. Company have to bear very expensive cost every year. Maybe Microsoft SQL Server is less expensive. So I can go ahead with that. Now, after 5 months, I have decided like I had to change the database. I had to again start from the scratch. So this is like one of the examples. So if the proper project management is not done, proper planning is not done, you will not be able to execute your project or the task properly, which can become a big nightmare for you. That's why project management is like very much essential requirement for any of the company. If it is a technical company, a software development company, a non-technical company, healthcare department, anywhere, project management is so much required because it basically helps you in moving your organization forward. It basically helps you in producing a product or a solution in a time and efficient way. So there are various advantages. Like for example, with the help of project management, I can define the roles and responsibility of different people. Let's say I have 15 people in my team. I know that a couple of people are good in the programming, couple of people are good in the testing, couple of people are good in the people communication, so that they can get the requirements. So I can allocate the task accordingly to them. So based on the project management, I can assign right task to the right people so that I can have an efficient product or solution on time without any kind of delay, wherein you can also define the scope or timeline of your project. So I hope you got a fair understanding now what is a project management and what is a project. Now coming to the today's topic that we have is PM. Let's talk about it. So basically PMP, what exactly is PMP? What is the full form of PMP? So PMP stands for Project Management Professional. So this is one of the globally acknowledged professional certification program in project management. So basically, if you have this certification, it legalize professional education, experience, skill to any of the projects. So if you're holding this certification and you're going to a company to apply for a job or related to any of the the core company which basically deals in some one of the sensitive products, they are going to give you the preference and you are legally eligible as well to be part of their projects as well. And they will think that and again at the same time they will also assume that you have enough knowledge so you can handle that project individually, so you can be an individual contributor. So that's the good thing about PMP, which is one of the well recognized. It's not like that this certification is already recognized in India or US or UK. It's globally recognized certification. And like I said, in certain companies, they make it mandatory for their employees that they have to get the certification. So whatever the fees of the certification or the course is going to be, their company basically bear that fees. And sometimes in certain cases, companies basically sign the agreement when they are allowing you to get yourself certified, PMP certified with some certification exam. At the same time, they are reimbursing you the money for any of the course that you are taking. They just let you to sign the bond like for 2-3 years. Otherwise, that's one of the funny story which used to happen in the past, that wherein companies were spending a lot of money for this certification, and let's say you're working at X dollar, let's say per hour, and after that you got a certification, people were started getting very good hike. They were getting X plus 30%, X plus 40%. So people were switching the company, and wherein the company was people were in loss, wherein they are spending the money on the certification, at the same time people are leaving, so they are losing their resource and their money as well. So that's why in most of the companies, whenever they provide the reimbursement and all kind of flexibility to you for certification, they just let you to sign a bond for 1 or 2 years that you cannot leave the company. If you're going to leave the company, then you have to refund that money back. So that's one of the other way companies deals with it. So that's it about the PMP. Now let's talk about what exactly is a project manager. So what is the role of project manager? Who is a project manager? Let's talk about it. So project managers are the one who ensure that the entire process of PMF, which is project management, flows in a controlled manner. Let me repeat. So project manager are the one who is going to ensure that the entire process, entire methodology of your project management flow are in a controlled manner. It's not like a loose ended wherein so-called people are working on something, other people are working on other thing. Now let's talk about the roles and responsibility of a project manager. Like what are their R&R? So you say R&R or you say roles and responsibility. It's like one and the same thing. So let's talk about each of the roles and responsibilities one by one. First is a planning. So this is the primary R&R of any project manager to make sure that proper planning is done. Whenever any kind of software is being developed or any product has to be created, it has to be done via the proper planning. If proper planning is not there, then in that case, it's going to be a big issue. Like one of the example that I gave you is like you are trying to develop a product, a new product, without having any kind of proper planning. You decided out of the blue, okay, we want to develop the product, and you're working on it. Later on, after a couple of months down the line, you realize that you have to make a change. Or maybe one of the other example, you don't have to make a change. After a couple of months, you realize that you require a new person who has the knowledge in XYZ domain, and you don't have that team member. And the reason why you don't know is you didn't realize that it will be required because you have not made any kind of proper documentation. You have not prepared the high level, low level design. No blueprint was there. So later on, after project execution, while working on it, you realize that proper planning was not done. So you have to make sure that you are making a proper planning so that you are not wasting the company's time and money. So that's the one thing. That's the one of the primary R&R of any of the project manager. That's why it's well known that any project manager is the one who basically, it's not the one who is basically stopping you from working or like anything. Like project manager is the one who is basically going to define the process so that people have to work accordingly. Sometimes this get confused, wherein people think that project manager is trying to own the company. They are assigning the task. Like some people are interested to work on in a different domain. Let's say a person who is interested in working on database, but project manager is saying that they have to work on maybe programming. So he's the one who owns everything. The reason is because let's say there is a person who has a very good knowledge in a programming and a database, and for this project requirement he realized that this project will require knowledge of like having someone who has knowledge of encryption and decryption, and he wants to allocate 2 people for development, 2 people for, let's say, uh, you know database. Now we have only 2 guys who have good knowledge in that encryption decryption domain, which is required for this project. So he's going to allocate that part to that person. So the project manager has to smart enough to allocate the task to the people who can handle it efficiently. So that's why this is a primary requirement of the project manager. The next one that we have is, after planning, the next one you have is a leadership. So basically, a project manager should have a leadership quality wherein he can lead the entire organization. So it's not like that you have to give the orders. The project manager is the one who know, like, at what point he has to be very calm, and sometimes, in other words, that's funny, but that's true. At what point he has to be a little rude or arrogant. Sometimes it happens. So he should have the leadership quality, like how he can efficiently take the work from a people, because sometimes you cannot be calm with everyone, wherein you are calm with someone who is taking it for granted. Like, you have allocated a task and it was supposed to be completed in 10 days, he took, like, let's say 2 months, and still it's ongoing. So sometimes you have to be deal with different people in different style. So you should have that quality, that wherein you can be a leader of the entire company, where you can lead the entire organization, and with the help of you, even though you don't know about let's say about a product, a project, a technology, or domain, you should be well enough to manage those things, wherein people can think that, wow, I mean, this guy is like all rounder. So that's something you should have it. The next one is basically time management. This is again one of the important thing. So a project manager basically is the one who has to make sure that whenever he's planning for a project, the time is basically taken into consideration. If company has decided that they have to launch this product next quarter, so you have, let's say 1 month is passed, you only have 3 months. So a project manager has to define the strategy that it's basically well enough through which the organization can deliver the product on time, without any kind of delay, without any kind of hassle. So you have to make sure that if you are dividing your project into different module, you can allocate different time for every module, and for every module you have to make sure that the project is getting completed on time. And you have to put some time in the buffer, because sometimes it happens that you are able to complete the project on time, but there were some bugs which took so long. So you have to make some time into buffer for the consideration that if any kind of unknown issues or errors will occur, you have to make sure that those are fixed and remediated before it creates some big issue. The next one that you have is a budget planning. The budget planning basically means that, as the name suggests, you have to make sure that whatever the company's product project that you're developing, that is within the company's budget. It should not like that you are blowing the budget of the organization. So if company had decided that they want to get this entire product developed, let's say in $100,000, you have to make sure that the cost, which is a primary factor, it's taken into consideration. It's not like that company have a budget of $100,000 and you are spending like $500,000, like 5 times of it. So you have to make sure that the budget planning is done properly. The next one that you have is a customer satisfaction. So if you're developing this product, let's say for another client, or you're, let's say, developing it for the end users, you have to make sure that they are satisfied. It should not be very complicated to use. It should be very easy to use, easy to understand. So that's one of the other things. The next one is handling project risk, which basically means that you have to be, like I said, you have to make sure that you have enough bandwidth. If any kind of unknown issues or error will occur, you have to make sure that your your team is capable enough to handle those risks, those issues. Sometimes it happens that you are working on like a project which will require to store customer credit card information, and you think that you are not able to maintain it properly. So first thing is that if you are going to take that risk, you have to be make sure that you are basically storing the encrypted card information. You are not storing the credit card information or sensitive information in a clear text format. It is in encrypted form. Or sometimes some companies, what they do is they leverage it to a third party company, wherein they are going to maintain the database. So if anything goes bad, if the data got compromised, then it's not going to spoil the name and fame of the current organization who developed the product, but it's going to spoil the name and fame of that organization to whom they have given the contract. So next one we have is monitoring development, which basically means that you have to make sure that you should have basically a kind of monitoring solution which is going to monitor your entire project, where like you can use different tools. You can see that like how many in terms of graphs, basically it should give you the report that how much progress you have made and how much tasks are left, so the people can in the management, they can easily see that what is the progress. Like if you have a timeline of 3 months, even let's say 2 months passed, in 2 months how much progress you have made, so percentage how much is completed, how much is pending. And the last one is the reports. So wherein you should have that experience, or if not, you can acquire that knowledge to create the reports in like in the PowerPoint presentations, or you have to make sure that the data is in a presentable format. You can just put it in the front of management, the team, how much progress you have made in terms of report. So I hope you got the fair understanding about the roles and responsibility of the project manager. Okay, now let's talk about the eligibility. What is the eligibility for PMP? So basically, the eligibility period for exam, or like the duration during which you can take the test, is 1 year. Within this 1 year eligibility, you can attend the exam 3 times in case you fail to clear it in the first attempt. Beyond that, you cannot in that year. You have to wait for the next year. Now let's talk about the certification cost. I think this is one of the things that you guys are going to be highly interested. So the cost of the certification basically varies from country to country. So it basically like it is, you are not going to see the vast difference, but yeah, it's going to be a slightly difference from country to country. So also PMI members are required to pay lesser amounts. If you are a PMI member, you have to pay less amount. If you're not a PMI member, you have to pay more amount. Like in this case, you can opt for a PMI member. So wherein you have the cost of $405. Without it, it's like 555. In India, it's 20,459, and without that, it's basically 42,863. Along with that, let's say you are basically you flunk in the exam, like you have not passed the exam, you got failed, you want to reattempt. So PMI basically provides you 1 year eligibility period for you to clear the exam. During this duration, you are allowed to take the examination 3 times. You cannot take the examination fourth time. So after that, you have to basically like wait for the duration. So it's not like that you can give the like entire, for example, like 10 times, 20 times in 1 year, because it's basically determined by them that if you're giving the examination more than 3 times, that you will be able to understand the pattern, and you will be able to clear the exam based on the pattern that they're following in that current year. But you don't have that enough knowledge, so that's why they give you 3 attempts. Beyond 3 attempts, you cannot go ahead with that. After 3 attempts, then you have to again wait, and after that you have to you can re-give it again next year. But really, it's more than enough. In 1 year exam, I have seen a lot of people are able to clear it. Along with that, there are a few cases I have seen that people are able to clear in 2, but I haven't seen anyone till now like who have taken all those 3 attempts and they were not able to clear it. It's not that tough. If you have paid the attention, you're attending the course, you have paid the class, it is more than enough for you. So this is basically the fees of re-exam. The other thing, for example, you have taken the PMP certification. So this certification is not going to be valid forever. So everyone and anyone who is earning a PMP certification must actively maintain their certification through participation in the CCR program. So wherein you have to renew your certification after 3 years. Like in certain Microsoft certification, they're also valid for 3 years. Likewise, this is valid for that, and after that you have to renew your certification. Wherein sometimes the course content is changed so that you are basically up to date with the course content. Now let's talk about how PMP will help you to upgrade your career. So let's talk about how PMP will help you to upgrade your career. So you are going to have, like, if you're basically holding PMP certification, you're going to have good employment opportunities because it's a well trust certification wherein the organization are going to think that you have clear certification, so you have enough skill set that you can handle the things easily, the projects individually. Along with that, this is the certifications internationally recognized. It's not like that, like you said in the beginning, it's not like which is valid in India, US, UK. It's basically globally recognized, and you are going to enhance your skill set because uh, while taking the certification, yeah, or I would say while preparing for the certification, you have to learn a lot of things. You should have knowledge about in so many areas, domain, which will help you in getting like a thorough clarity about different components which are required in a project development. The other is like you are going to have edge over known PMP candidates, which basically means that if like let's say two people are giving the interview, one is PMP certified, second is not PMP certified, then of course companies are going to give preference to those people who are PMP certified. So that's going to be one of the good advantage for you. The other is that you are going to build leadership quality. Like I said, that this is one of the important thing that whenever you are going to deal with the people, and even though you are the senior enough, then them, it's not that like you should have you have to basically rule over them, you have to give instruction, or it's not like that you have to be calm always. So you should have that quality, like wherein you can manage the people easily, you can assign the task to them, and you can take the work from them, which is one of the important thing. The next thing is like working across industry. So like I said, the project manager basically required for technical non-technical things. So if you have the certification and you're going to apply for the job, like let's say you are from a non-technical background and you're applying for a job in a technical background, which basically requires the knowledge into the same domain. If you don't have that knowledge, but still they're going to give you the preference because the skill set that you're going to acquire while getting the certification, they're going to trust you based on that skill set. Now let's talk about why organizations prefer PMP certified professional. Like I said that even though let's say you're giving an interview and you does not have, let's say, technical knowledge, but you're giving an interview for an organization which deals in majorly the technical things. So how it's going to help you? Because any technical field, at the end, the end goal is to develop something, a solution, or a kind of something which can help in organizations running or getting the revenue. And you already have that knowledge, already have that skill set. They're going to, of course, give you the preference all over the other people. So these are a couple of things like customer satisfaction. So basically, if you are basically PMP certified, you already acquire that skill set. So if you're going to develop a project, product, solution, then in that case, they are going to assume that you will be able to satisfy the customer, wherein you will be able to understand the requirement. You're going to make them happy. If the customer is happy, you know that everything is going to go super smooth. So they are going to assume that the customer will have a good satisfaction. You are going to have an improved work culture wherein you are going to make everyone happy within the organization, outside the organization as well. Like I said, you should have a good leadership quality wherein you basically know that how you can take the work from the people. So that's something is going to be expected from you if you are holding the certification. The other thing is like the people who are certified are more reliable since they have the certification, so they assume that you already have that knowledge which is required for a good PMP professional. And increase success rate, because since you hold the certification, so they will believe that you already clear the certification, so you know all the in and out, so you will be able to clear the any of the hurdle that you're going to get while preparing or working for the project. So that's it. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.